giants. Then now you have to draw them closer to you so that you can inject them again. If you're a woman, they are fussing, they are throwing their hands, they are doing what, if it's fall, he just pulls it, draws the blood. So we would take twice as long as the men to do anything with those monkeys. So with the monkeys, they look a little bit like us, I think. So it would be very sad when they become very sick. Yeah, so one of the rules is that you cannot use a monkey until death. There's a place where you're going to stop. Even if you're looking at the way a disease progresses, like human African trypanosomiasis, it will reach a place, the rest you just extrapolate. Because it goes into the brain, and then they will start getting confused, and they can't walk, and you wouldn't allow it to go to that fast. That's one of the rules. You cannot use an animal until death, just to see how they die. Those were the monkeys. The dogs were the saddest, because dogs make friends with you. And when they are still having any disease, they'll run after you, they'll lick you, they'll jump on you, they're so happy. But now, of course, they have the disease. So their hind legs get paralyzed, they can't walk. I think we did dogs just once, and after that we didn't do it again. It was too painful. We're trying to look at lesions in the heart. There are some special issues that come in the heart when the dogs get human African trypanosomiasis, like that we could compare to what happens. So, and then I also dealt with mice. And so mice, in one experiment you can have 300 mice. Yeah, and you're just snipping a bit of their tail to get the blood so that you can check how hygiene is going on. But other mice, you give them Alzheimer's, you give them cancer, you give them HIV. I think we are truly wicked. So the mouse is happily living its own life, then one day you come and inject them, and now they start having cancer. Then you're trying to treat the cancer. So I've done preclinical research, and the only thing I would say, if anybody submits a proposal to you, make sure that the PI is actually going to handle the animals themselves. That the PI is not sending a research assistant to do it, because the PI is not seeing how the animal is looking. Okay? So ask them, are they going to, because if you see with your eyes the way the animal is suffering, then you should be, it will be in the proposal that you're going to stop at this time, but that's one of the things I learned from one of my mentors way back when, that if you want this to work, make sure if it's Bramwell is the PI, that Bramwell is the one who goes to check the animals, so that he's not removed from the suffering of the animals. So you shouldn't use too many animals that you don't need, okay? That's one of the things. You should try as much as possible to see if this could be done in tissue culture. So it's almost, as he says, like one of those populations. Before you do research in prisoners, see if you can get the answer from non-prisoners. If you can get the answer from non-prisoners, get it from non-prisoners. So usually the kind of research we do in prison are the things that can help the prisoners in the prison, okay? Not just things that can help those of us who are outside the prison. So that's the same thing with animals. Just do the research that is so, so important. Having said that, as one of the people on the movie said, without these animals, there are too many things we would not have known. Yeah. And when you guys start reviewing clinical trials, I think you already started, you're going to ask, was there any animal work done? And what were the results in animals? You are going to ask that question, yes, before it comes into first in human and then go on, so that you can have an idea from the very beginning, because at least an animal is also, you are now looking at the drug inside a body rather than in tissue culture and what have you. So we are very fortunate that the activists, we don't have them in our country, but in countries where the activists are, yeah, people have died for doing animal research, and I think that's a little bit one-sided, because these people still benefited from the drugs that went through these animals. So as somebody here said, it's a balance. It's a balance, yeah. And my children always make fun of me and my sister. They say, when I die and go to heaven, I'm so sure I'm going to heaven. When I die and go to heaven, St. Peter at the gate is going to bring all those mice that died when I was doing research. I said, why are you responsible for all of the deaths of these mice? And they'll be very many. So they made fun of me like that, because as children, they felt it was very unfair. Yeah, they felt it was, because children wanted to play with them in the first place. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about that.